Hello and Minglaba, welcome to Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin with the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Williamson brings us a first report on additional fee for government land acquisition. David Tanner's coverage on 8th Myanmar International Textile and Garment Industry Exhibition. Agacho prepared 2 reports, the first one on orphans in Myanmar losing children's rights, and another one on a visit to Yangon by a travelling exhibition on Lumbini. Now, before we get to the reports, let's check on some local news. State Councillor Daw San Suu Kyi received Chairman of the Japan-Myanmar Parliamentary Friendship Association, Ichiro Aisawa, at the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo on Tuesday. The meeting focused on promotion of bilateral relations and friendship between Myanmar and Japan, promotion of cooperation between the two parliaments to assist in promoting bilateral economic cooperation, including the Thilawa Industrial Zone, the status of plantation of cherry trees in Myanmar with the management of JMPFA to mark the friendly relations between Myanmar and Japan, and future plans of the association in Myanmar. Then, the State Councillor met with King Jigme Khesa Namgyal Wangchak of Bhutan at the same venue. During the meeting, they discussed promotion of friendly relations and cooperation, development and conservation of culture and traditions, and exchange of visits between the two countries. Union Minister for Information Dr. Pei Min separately received delegations led by BBC News and Current Affairs Director Francesca Unsworth, BBC Media Action Executive Director Caroline Nursey, and Integrator Private Limited Managing Director Jimmy Chang on Tuesday. During the meeting with a delegation led by BBC News and Current Affairs Director and BBC Media Action Executive Director, the officials discussed on status of cooperation between Myanmar Radio and Television and BBC Media Action, programs to be broadcast, and importance of providing information and education works on media and information literacy. During the meeting with a delegation led by Integrator Private Limited Managing Director, the officials discussed on constructing and establishing community centers in district and township information and public relations department, libraries and offices. The ASEAN Secretariat is initiating the 2020 Year of ASEAN Identity Logo Design competition for the youth from ASEAN countries to stimulate young people's creativity in interpreting the bloc's identity. The winning logo will be featured in various materials and high-profile events throughout 2020 to celebrate ASEAN identity. The contest is open to all passport holders of ASEAN member states aged between 18 and 35, and by December 31st, except the staff or officers of the ASEAN Secretariat or their immediate family members. The prizes in the contest will be €2,000 plus 2 nights hotel stay in Jakarta, return flight from an ASEAN member state to Jakarta on the launch and award ceremony, €1,000 for first runner-up and €500 for second runner-up. The competition entry form can be downloaded at www.asean.org. That's all with the local news, and we're moving on to our first report. Yangon region government, which sells more than 500 plots of land in several townships including 4 Dagon townships and Tripitha, have been receiving land purchasing applications from 7th of October till 8th of November, which is the deadline. 40 by 60 plot of land will be acquired with the minimum price of 6 million kyats. However, what the potential buyers were not informed initially is that they will have to pay additional fee for their newly acquired land. Williamson will tell us why.
From 7th of October, Yangon government started to receive the applications for land purchase from the potential buyers, where the government sells more than 500 plots of land to buyers in the first phase. According to YCDC, who held a press conference on 21st of October, since day 1 of forms submission till 18th of October, the government so far has received 7,786 forms for land acquisition, and the government will receive the application till 8th of November. However, the criticism raised among the public is that 40-60 plots of land can be acquired by 3.5 million kyats in the same areas where the government is selling land with the lowest price of 6 million kyats. Speaking at the press conference, Utan, Joint Secretary of YCDC, said,
ရောင်းချတဲ့အခြေခံဈေးနှုန်းဟာ2018-19 ဘဏ္ဍာရေးနှစ်အတွက်
We have already mentioned in the land acquisition application where it says the price of the land were based on the decision of Regional Land Price Valuation Board. The price for 40-60 plot of land is priced at 6 million kyats, but this does not fit as there are some 40-60 plots of land which are also priced as 13 million kyats, and there are also some area where an acre of land costs more than 100 million kyats, but the reason for different price ranges due to the locations of the land as it depends on where the land is located, where it is near to the main road or outskirts of the township.
According to Udan, it may be true that 40-60 plots of land cost only 3.5 million kyats in those areas, but as it is mentioned above, the land price is being decided by Regional Land Price Valuation Board. That's why the lowest price is fixed at 6 million kyats. Speaking on how far these areas have access to road, electricity, and water supply, Udan also explains.
More than 500 plots of land for sale have been inspected by Land Management Committee. 90% of these areas have streets, and there are also several electricity poles which have been installed. We have agreement with Regional Chief Minister for the necessary infrastructure in this area, where we further call for private companies to carry out basic and necessary infrastructure for these areas. The text includes construction of the road, sewage system, electricity and water pipeline network for water supply. Even if engineering department of water and sanitation cannot provide water for now, we will make pipeline network ready so that we can supply water as soon as this area get water supply.
However, the new issue which the potential buyers were not informed is that now they have to pay for extra infrastructure fees. For example, if a buyer acquires 40-60 plots of land for 6 million kyats, with the additional infrastructure fees, the buyer have to pay total 12 million kyats. 6 million kyats is the price for the land, and additional 6 million kyats will be collected for infrastructure fees. Speaking on why the infrastructure fees which the buyer have to pay in addition to the price of the land, Udan also explains.
The reason for not informing the potential buyers of additional infrastructure fee is that there is need of infrastructure in these areas, even though some area has 90% of road access and a sufficient amount of necessary electricity poles. However, these areas have no water supply at all. Therefore, in order to meet these needs of these new areas, we will collect infrastructure fees from the potential buyers. If we wait for the government budget for basic infrastructure, we are not sure when we will get the budget. If we wait for the government budget for basic infrastructure, we are not sure when we will get the budget, but it is sure that it will take a long time. That is why it's better to have the necessary infrastructure built with buyers' budget.
This is Williamson reporting for MI Radio.
That's a report on additional fee for government land acquisition. Alright, we'll move on to weather forecast now. In Yangon, it will be very warm with some sun during the day and partly cloudy with a thunderstorm late at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-30s and there's only an 11% chance of rain for the day, with wind gusts at 11 km per hour. In Int'l, there will be sunshine and patchy clouds during the day, and it's mainly clear with a thunderstorm in spots late at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-30s as well, and there's only 7% chance of rain for the day with wind gusts at 7 km per hour. In Mandalay, it will be very warm and partial sunshine during the day, and it's mainly clear at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the mid-30s, and there's about a 25% chance of rain for the day, with wind gusts at 11 km per hour. Stay with us, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. The annual event in textile and garment industry, the 8th Myanmar International Textile and Garment Industry Exhibition, is happening concurrently with Myanmar International Textile and Apparel Accessories Exhibition, and Myanmar International Textile Printing Industry Exhibition will be held from November 1st to the 4th at Yangon Convention Center. Our reporter David Tanner has more information.
MTG is organized by Yogurt's Trade and Marketing Service Company Limited and also gains a lot of solid support from both government and industrial associations, including co-organizers Myanmar Garment Manufacturers Association, MGMA, and Myanmar Textile Manufacturers Association, MTMA, and the official sponsor will be UMFCCI. The event will showcase a great variety of high quality and innovative machinery, product and technology to help the local manufacturers meet the growing market needs. We will find out the detail from Do Yin Yin Mo, who is the General Secretary of Myanmar Textile Manufacturers and Association.
အခုနောက်ပိုင်းမှာတော့ဒီအမတို့ဒီမြန်မာနိုင်ငံဆိုင်လုံးဆိုင်ရာပေါ့နော်ထည်ချုပ်လုပ်ငန်းရှင်များအသင်းအနေနဲ့
Myanmar textile industry has improved compared to the last few years. The existing traditional brand has become innovative with their own machines. Furthermore, they tend to break through not only the domestic market, but also the international market. Our products are unique and handmade. We have natural dyes and distinctive textiles which are cyclic, as that materials are being interested by the foreigners. Now, we have high demands for this product in the international market.
ပြပွဲပြပေးမှာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်မို့လို့ဒီပြပွဲမှာဒီခင်းပြထားမဲ့စက်ပစ္စည်းတွေအကုန်လုံးကအခုနိုင်ငံတကာနဲ့ရှင်ပြီးတော့နောက်ဆုံးနည်းပညာ The
current circumstances of Myanmar textile and garment industry will also be explained.
မြန်မာနိုင်ငံချီမြင်နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့လုပ်ငန်းတွေအနေနဲ့ကတော့အရင်နှစ်တွေနဲ့စာရင်အများကြီးပြောင်းလဲတိုးတက်လာတာကိုတွေ့ရတယ်
The Myanmar textile industry has improved in the global market. As with the development, the use of machines and technology are also upgraded. So we should use those advanced techniques in order to get the international level. We cooperate with the Yorkers Trade and Marketing Services to hold the exhibition. There will be goods displayed from 7 countries which are made from latest high technology that can be a great profit for our textile industry.
အရင်အထက်တည်တာပြောင်းလဲအောင်တိုးတက်နေတာတော့မှန်ပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီပစ္စည်းတွေအကုန်လုံးကိုလည်းနိုင်ငံတကာရဲ့ဒီဝယ်လိုအားဈေးကွက်ကလည်းရှိနေပြီဖြစ်ပါတယ်
As the exhibition was also exhibited last year, what will be the biggest changes and differences between this year and last year? Ms. Judy Wang, President of Yogurts, got the detail of it.
The 2018 and 2019, the most different is this year we combine with the other is the live food production line, like the plastic, printing and packaging, also the agriculture and the food processing machinery together. So I think this is a very good platform and a purchasing platform to all the Myanmar buyer, and they can upgrade their machine and also can spit out and get more quantity to export to the other countries. And this year, if compared with last year difference, this year the car parking is free. So also is the more sign to guide the VIP to come. So I hope this year we can gather double or triple visitor compared than last year.
MTG is also supported by several international organizations. There will be pavilions including Hong Kong. We will discuss more about the international support as well as the improvement of the exhibition for more in the interview.
My planning is to only organize one machinery fair because that time Myanmar they don't have any trade show, only the G2G show. And we already do others extra service like free parking lot and have the road sign to guide the visitor and the VVIP to visit the fair. So the Yokers, we also have another sector is the car parts. So we organized MPA Myanmar. We just finished in last month, September, also in YCC. So we are very, very good experience to organize all the industry sector fair.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on the 8th Myanmar International Textile and Garment Industry Exhibition. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,535 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 216 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,710 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,987 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,127 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 366 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,489. Silver is at $17, and Brent crude oil is at $54. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI remains at 11,500. MTSH dropped 50 and it's now at 3,900. MCB is at 8,300. FPB is at 23,500. TMH remains at 3,000. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch other great programs live on the website. We're also running on FM 96.1 in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Or simply download our app so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Well, we have more reports for you, and we're not going to keep you waiting, so let's get down to it. It's reported that abandoning children is on the rise across Myanmar, and orphans in Myanmar are losing the children's rights. Our reporter Agajo finds out more on the reasons behind the rise in child abandonment and the effort to reduce the number of orphans in the country.
It is reported that abandoning the children is on the increase across Myanmar, and orphans in Myanmar are losing the children's right. This was said at the launch of the Myanmar Orphans Reduction and Protection Association ORPA Yangon region on Saturday. The regional association was launched with the presence of association members in South Oklaba Township. Dr. Mimi Jue, the responsible person of the ORPA, explained that there are many factors behind the increasing number of abandoned children in Myanmar.
These days, most children are orphans, facing social issues, poverty, lack of knowledge, and they are being brought up in unwholesome environment. Because of this, the number of children abandoned by their parents is growing all over the country. From this, there are children who were sent to orphanages and some abandoned on the streets. Actually, these children have lost their own rights. They are the precious human resources for our country, and we are losing them sadly. That's why I give my heartfelt thanks to Myanmar Orphans Reduction and Protection Association for protecting the children. We should do our best in time for the victims of violence, sexual harassment, human trafficking, lacking knowledge because of poverty, and unwanted pregnancies. There are people who have committed these unwholesome things and do not take any responsibility on it.
Statistics from the Ministry of Social Welfare, Relief and Resettlement for 2018 show that there are 280 orphanages across Myanmar. They are home to more than 36,000 orphans. On April 18th last year, a Central Committee for Orphan Reduction and Protection was formed, comprising officials of the Ministry of Social Welfare, Relief and Resettlement, the Ministry of Information, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Health and Sports under the auspices of Myanmar Women's Affairs Committee. Voluntary organizations that take care of children are required to create child-friendly environments with suitable facilities and adequate play spaces under the Department of Social Welfare. However, despite such standards, some orphanages can't provide open spaces for young children or educational toys. One major issue such organizations face is the difficulty in meeting the standards for at least one skilled caretaker for every 3 infants in their care. Daw Mei Yin Tong, chairperson of the ORPA Central, said,
According to the instruction of the State Councilor, we have been planning to establish this association since 2017, and we founded it on the 18th April of 2018. There are altogether 15 members in this association, and our association has formed other departments in 7 states and regions, which are Naypyidaw, Magway Region, Sagaing Region, Mandalay Region, Ayeyarwady Region, Yangon Region, and Shan State. The main purpose of our association is to reduce the abandoned children, to protect them with children's laws and rights, to educate the public about reproductive health and birth spacing, to reduce the amount of single mothers and to protect them. For us, single mothers mean pregnant women without the man taking responsibility for it. And also, our main focus is about the women who got pregnant under violations. By the networking of all departments, we are trying to get benefits for abandoned children and single mothers. Our head office is organizing speeches to educate about reproductive health and birth spacing in universities. Nowadays, the values of Myanmar traditional and cultural norms have changed, and foreign cultures have become favored. Because of the lack of knowledge about reproductive health, the amount of abandoned children is increasing with the unexpected pregnancies.
The first orphanages in Myanmar were started by Christian missionaries. By 1962, 2 childcare centers were opened by the government and institutional childcare began. Later, non-government organizations, volunteers, and religious groups were allowed to establish registered orphanages. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on orphans in Myanmar losing children's rights. Well, here's the last report on a visit to Yangon by a traveling exhibition on Lumbini. A traveling exhibition on Lumbini, Nepal, kicked off at the Shwedagon Pagoda on Saturday. Lumbini is the birthplace of Buddha and it is one of the most visited religious sites in Nepal. Nepal's head of state and the officials from the Yangon region government graced the opening occasion on Saturday. Our reporter Agacha reached out to experts from UNESCO and Lumbini Development Trust for more exciting details on the traveling exhibition.
Traveling exhibition on Lumbini, Nepal kicked off at Shwedagon Pagoda on Saturday. Nepalese president and the officials from Yangon region government joined to grace the opening of the exhibition. Lumbini is the birthplace of Buddha, and it is one of the most visited religious sites in Nepal. It is claimed that few places in the world are as significant and sacred as Lumbini. The exhibit aims to bring glimpses of the Buddha's birthplace located in present-day Nepal to Myanmar, where Buddhism was preserved and continues to flourish. Shwedagon Pagoda Trustees Board Alternate Chairman Uttanso said,
They are here to promote the latest excavations of the Lumbini, where Buddha was born. This is to promote the place to Myanmar people and attract the visitors to the site. Here, they will showcase the place where Buddha was born and how he resided around and how the places were built. So, the visitors will see the details concerning the Lumbini.
The traveling exhibition will run from 19th to 30th at the Shwedagon Pagoda. MI Radio also interviewed one of the responsible persons who organized the exhibition. Venerable Bhikshu Nigroda, former vice chair of the Lumbini Development Trust, explained more on the collection of items showcased at the exhibition.
Because of this exhibition, we can prove historically, archaeologically, how important the Lumbini, the Kapilvastu and Ramgram, the important Buddhist site in Nepal. Not only historically and archaeologically, and also it is important for the both two countries, how it is connecting, how important about it shows the how it was well developed from ancient time. And then we can show that the Chinese traveler, Xuan Zhang, he traveled to Lumbini, and later on the Lumbini was disappeared. And then when the past General Secretary U Thant visited our Lumbini in Nepal, and then we always grateful for the U Thant because of his initiation and because of his contribution, now the Lumbini was internationalized. So now worldwide, because of the concept of U Thant. The U Thant is a Myanmar person, and we are always grateful for him.
Professor, UNESCO Chair in Archaeological Ethics and Practice and Cultural Heritage, explained more on how UNESCO worked in Lumbini.
I'm a UNESCO professor and I teach at the University of Durham in the UK, and for the last 10 years I've been working with UNESCO and the government of Nepal, excavating both at Lumbini within the Maya Devi temple, but also at Tillerikod Kaplavastu, the ancient city site identified with the ancient kingdom of Kaplavastu. I mean, the recent work at Lumbini has been geared around conservation, because with many, many more pilgrims coming to visit the site, there are conservation challenges to that. In advance of the conservation and protection of the site, we were undertaking excavations there. There, underneath the floor of the Mauryan Emperor Asoka's temple,
This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's all the reports we have for today. We're now going to look into some international news here on Myanmar Today. European and American satellites have run the rule over the latest monster chunk of ice to break off Antarctica. Nicknamed Mola Berg, the block represents the biggest calving event on the Emery ice shelf in 50 years. Scientists used the EU's Sentinel-1 mission and the US IceSat-2 spacecraft to get a precise measure of the behemoth's bulk. They find Mola Berg to cover an area of 1,573 square kilometers and to be 248 meters thick on average. That gives a whopping volume of 390 cubic kilometers. To put that in terms that might be easier to grasp, it would require the equivalent of close to 100,000 Wembley football stadiums to hold so much ice. Video sharing app TikTok is being used by Islamic State militants to spread propaganda to a younger audience, according to the Wall Street Journal. Supporters reportedly shared videos showing IS fighters with guns and corpses being paraded through the streets. Some of the videos posted in recent weeks are said to have included TikTok augmented reality effects that stream stars or huts on top of the content. Videos flagged by the newspaper have been removed and 24 accounts blocked. The videos were identified by the social media intelligence sharing company Storyful. Yo there, my readers, Myanmar Today. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day. Goodbye now.